YouTube, capital G here, breaking down a bunch of cards that just got revealed from the Lightning Overdrive live stream. I watched it live, despite the fact I had no idea it was even going to happen, and Orgus finally put the cards up because even though I was watching it, I didn't know what the cards did because, you know, I don't speak Japanese or read Japanese. We got a bunch of cards to talk about, and I've already shot this video before, but it was too long, so let's go ahead and start with Dark Honest. Oh my goodness. I feel like people have legitimately waited over a decade for this. I mean, Honest was the cover card of Light of Destruction. That's a 2008 set, and we're in 2021, so people have been waiting for this for a long time. The card effect and everything is identical to Honest, except instead of you gaining the attack of your opponent's monster, a la you attack a Blue Eyes and you get 3,000 attack, you actually make their monster go to 0. So it's still, like, functionally, it works the same. You get the same result. You're still doing damage equivalent to your monster's attack. And, you know, I think this is a really cool card. I think it's definitely overdue. There are so many good archetypes that can use this because we have Dart support for days, and I definitely feel like it's going to find a home. When I saw that, especially when I saw this, you know, this shot like the actual physical card, I was like, oh my goodness, Konami, please give us this rarity in the TCG. I'm not even someone who's like all nuts for the Starlight rares and all these crazy rarities, but that one I actually do like. We have a new Evil Twin card. This is something, I don't know, I said on my live stream the other day that this is the biggest waste of an opportunity of 2020 because I feel like this archetype could have been so much better. This is an extender, but this is a good extender. I forget what the Halloween card's name is. I think that might be from Blazing Vortex. This one's actually much better. It's a level 2, and if you have a Lila monster, you can special summon it from your hand, so it doesn't eat up your normal summon. It is an extender. Second effect feels very, very applicable to modern Yu-Gi-Oh! If your opponent adds a card or cards from their deck to their hand by a card effect and you control an Evil Twin monster, banish this card from your graveyard, draw a card. That is absolutely amazing. When you think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now and just the way the game is played, people are going to Tenki, they're going to activate, you know, they're going to activate their Drytron cards or Prep or Benton, or they're going to activate the VW Lulu or the VW spell card that lets them rota. Like, there are just 5 trillion rotas for every archetype. It's just nice to have basically a free draw because Evil Twins don't really have that many disruptions. The entire archetype really only has one good defensive card, and that is the blue Evil Twin. She pops a card during your opponent's turn usually, but that's kind of it. Everything else, you're just praying to God that you have like unsearchable cards like hand traps and stuff. Maybe this will get you to a hand trap, or if you're going for the red twin during your opponent's turn and you're drawing, at least you get to draw 2 cards, so that's nice. I think you play multiple copies of this because outside of the main twins, I don't know if I'd play any of the other ones. Anyways, we have Adignisters with a bunch of cards, and this is cool. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna read all of them because I'm just gonna be honest. The trap, I just don't think Adignisters and trap cards work. Like, this is a deck that wants to go full throttle from like turn 1. Adignisters plays similar to like Heroes. It's a deck that can easily OTK you with like 3 cards, so I don't really think traps really work. This new one, that 2300 attack, it specifically works if you control a Link 6 monster. Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't there only one of those in the entire game? That would be the Arrival Cyber's Adignister, which is part of this archetype. I get it. This allows you, as a quick effect, banish this card from the field or graveyard, target a card your opponent controls, and then you get to just negate that card. I'm guessing maybe they were trying to say like, hey, if I had this in the show, he would have won, because, I mean, most decks only have like 1 out to 4,000 attack like Adignister, maybe a Boral Sword Dragon or Access Code Talker. I guess maybe you're supposed to use that to protect it. Still feels a little too situational. It's kind of like Konkori as well. If an Adignister monster is battling, you can special summon it, negate the attack. So I guess they don't want you to have to, you know, use up a normal summon or something like that. It feels like maybe you're gonna play one. If you really are committed to going for the Cyber's Arrival Adignister, play the card. If not, don't play the card. Now, I think that this card is absolutely nuts. Striker Dragon, I could not think of that the last time I did this video. This is basically Balinx and or Striker Dragon for the Agnister archetype. The second effect could be good. The first effect is why you play this card and why it's mandatory to play this card. It says if this card is link summoned, you can add one Agnister Island from your deck to your hand. If you don't know, Agnister Island is the field spell for Agnisters. It gets the entire deck going. If you don't have any monsters in your main monster zones, you get the special summon an Agnister from your hand. This makes all your monsters turn into your field spell. This is a mandatory play. Second effect, if a Cyberse monster with 2300 original attack, which is basically like the entire extra deck except the arrival, it says activates its effect. You can move this card to the main monster zone it points to. So it only works with Dark Templar, I guess, because Agnister has like every mechanic except Pendulum, and obviously like Synchros, Fusion, and Exceed don't have link points. It says then you can change this card's attribute to any attribute until the end of the turn. So yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure they explained the second effect, but again, I don't speak Japanese, and I'm not like an expert on the archetype, so I don't know how relevant that's going to be. I know through the progression of basically all your combos, like every single Agnister combo involves Dark Templar because he is an Infernity launcher. He summons two monsters from the graveyard. Why would you not want to use him? So maybe it will be good with that, but I just know you run the card because it gets the field spell, and the field spell basically allows the entire deck to work. This card's really good too. It is basically another Rhoda type card. This is called When I First Met You. Obviously, all the Agnister cards are puns on the anime character I, hard once per turn. Reveal a Cyberse monster with 2300 attack from your extra deck. If you do, you get to add an Agnister monster that has the same attribute as the monster that you revealed from your deck to your hand. You are locked into Cyberse effects for the rest of the turn, but that's not a problem because like when this deck uses its effects, you're already going to be locked into Cyberse monsters anyways when it comes to special summoning them. So who cares if you can only use Cyberse effects? You're locked into Cyberse regardless, so it doesn't honestly matter. If you don't summon the monster you revealed, you take 2300 during the end phase, but who cares about that either way? Like if you tell me I'm going to take 2300 burn damage for a Rhoda, I'll gladly take it because Rhodas for archetype equals consistency boost. So like who cares about the burn damage? Honestly, it's probably not going to be that relevant as long as you can get to your combos, get to your win conditions. You might even kill your opponent. And also if you do summon, like let's say you reveal Dark Templar, you always go into that card anyways. So it's not going to be relevant. Now we got some new Akiza support. Shout outs to the girl Akiza. I didn't expect this, and you know, if they're giving us new Akiza support, they are going to give us a new synchro. Hot take here, I'm going to be honest, I feel like this should have been the cover card of the set. I get she's not like she wasn't the main character of 5Ds, I get it, but I mean, Chaz got the cover card of Blazing Vortex, and he wasn't the main character of GX, so hot take, I mean, I really just don't like the Utopia, like the new Utopia card. Hot take, this should have been the cover card of the set. Anyways, we have Petal Rose Shoot. This special summons a Rose Dragon from your graveyard or hand. We do have multiple new Rose Dragons to talk about. It's a quick play too, so use it in the battle phase. Second effect, if this card is set or this set card is destroyed, you can target a Black Rose or one of your monsters that specifically has Black Rose in its text that's banished or in the graveyard. Special summon it. I love this card. A quick play Monster Reborn is amazing. Again, use it in the battle phase. If it's blown up by your own Black Rose, you get something out of it, and I just think it's a really good card. Now, her new Rose Dragon is a Blood Rose Dragon. Again, why is this not the cover card of the set? It looks better than the Utopia. It is, dude, this should be the cover card, seriously. It's a level 10, 3200, so it's actually a world beater. Black Rose wasn't the greatest statistically, but 32 is pretty damn good for a level 10. It is generic, and it says if this card is synchro summon, banish all the cards in both graveyards, so RIP Drytron. if this card was synchro summoned using a Black Rose or plant synchro monster, you get the Black Rose effect. You get to nuke the field and nuke the graveyard. Oh, I love that. I think they definitely did that in what's it called, because the guy had like Art Brave Dragon and 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords, and he just banished them all. Anyways, when your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card or cards, this can be in the hand or the field. Even if your opponent tries to destroy cards in their own hand, you know, those freaking dinosaur players, they be trying to blow their own cards up. You contribute this card, negate the activation, then you get to summon a Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard. Keep in mind, it doesn't matter where you summon this new Black Rose from. it's not synchro summon, so it will not get the effect. Unless I'm just totally whiffing on that, Black Rose Dragon has to be synchro summoned to get the effect. So it doesn't matter where you summon the new Black Rose from, you're not nuking the board, at least not then you're not nuking the board. This is Rock Rose Dragon, and this is a tuner. Basically, like almost all these damn cards are tuners, by the way. Level 3, if this card is normal or special summon, then you can add one card that specifically lists Black Rose Dragon in its card text. So basically all of these cards we're talking about, including the new Monster Reborn, that's a quick play. It says if this card is in your graveyard and a Rose Dragon or Plant Synchro monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, your opponent's card effect, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So obviously that's pretty cool. I mean, anytime you get to recycle a card for free, I'll definitely take that. We've got a little Akiza here. I think all of the Witch cards are supposed to like represent Akiza, but this one definitely. Not to be confused with the old Witch of the Black Rose. This is Witch of the Blood Rose. It's all Akiza. It doesn't matter. You contribute this card, add the old Witch of the Black Rose from your deck to your hand. And if you do, you can place one level 3 or lower plant monster from your deck to the top of your deck. Immediately after this, you can normal summon that Witch of the Black Rose. The reason that's relevant is because Witch of the Black Rose, I believe on normal summon, you draw a card, reveal it to your opponent. If it's not a monster, you blow both cards up. So basically, you want it to be a monster, and since you get to stack your deck, it should always be a monster. I mean, you're stacking your deck, so it has to be a monster. Well, it has to be a monster. You're stacking your deck for a plant. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Return a Black Rose or Blood Rose that is banished or in your graveyard to the extra deck. Here's what I think they want you to do. So basically, if you use Black Rose to go into Blood Rose and you nuke the graveyards, I guess they want you to have a way of getting your Black Rose back into the extra deck. So if you use Blood Rose's effect, you can just summon it. I mean, you could just run multiple Black Rose Dragons, but you know, extra deck space be tight in 2021 and 2020. So I guess Konami's kind of just thinking about that. And then finally, we have a new plant synchro monster. This is Garden Rose Flora, sorry, excuse me. She's also a tuner, because everything's a tuner when it comes to Akiza, as I said earlier. They want you to use this for Black Rose, basically. It says, first effect, target a field spell on the field. You can't special summon except synchro monsters when it comes to the extra deck. Destroy that card. Then special summon a Rose token that's level 2. The stats are the same as, I believe, Black Garden tokens. And it says to its controller's field in attack position. So basically the way it works is, let's say you blow your own Black Garden up, you get that token on your field. If you were to blow your opponent's, I don't know, Drytron field spell up, then your opponent would get the token. And then the second effect, basically just, you know, Needle Fiber, and so many other monsters have this. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Konami wants you to summon this, blow up your own field spell. Again, probably Black Garden, because you can search that with Akiza cards. And then they want you to get that token, and then probably just synchro in the Black Rose during your opponent's turn, because you get the nuke the field during their turn. Maybe wait until they commit and stuff like that. I honestly think this is pretty cool. I mean, to me, it feels like Lightning Overdrive started off really slow. I wasn't really loving this set, but these cards have been pretty good. I like the new Akiza cards. I think that this is worthy of being a cover card, unlike that shitty Utopia. I love the quick play Monster Reborn. I mean, that just sounds really good. And I like her new Rock Rose Dragon. So I'm very impressed with these cards. Anyways, I know I've been going on for too long. I should have shot this video in a different format, but believe me, it's like probably 7 in the morning. I started this around like 6 and stuff like that. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.